this is the microphone.
Start first.
Is this on? Yeah.
Yes.
It's on. Great.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Before, speech, I was sitting over there, and I decided, I'd better go take a bio break before I come over here. On the way over, I saw John, and I said, John, I'm leaving. Thank you, next time. He goes, what? I can follow that acting, Dr. Beckling just did over here. I mean, it's just like amazing. The expression on his face was completely worth it. I said, no, I'll be right back. My name is Ghuman. I'm not a doctor. My wife, Jaswinder Ghuman, she's a dentist. We have 2 offices in San Jose. I manage both of them. She does the dentistry part. Today, we just wanted to share our journey with you, what we've done, where we are, and I think this is the next button. Right?
Yeah. Good. So a little bit about myself. I got my license in California in '99, and then I worked 1 year as an associate in a different office. I had my younger son. I took 1 year off. So in 2003, we decided to start our own practice. So we bought a small practice in San Jose that was 2 operatory practice, doing about $225,000 a year, and it was open about 8 to 5, Monday to Thursday, and we were expecting about 4 to 5 new patients a month. That was our start.
2005, we became Chris' client. That was eye-opening. We started a scratch practice in 2006, and that's when we attended the first No Limits conference. Chris Nyvar was the main speaker over there. I still remember him, 22 practices or something, $60 million. I'm going like $25,000 a month. 65, 70, whatever number. I mean, it just was mind-blowing. And, I said, okay, I had time to open another office up. I was in the mentality like, guys, hey, like the field of dreams, you build it, they will come. You build it, they will come. I mean, I stood, sat in that office. We were open 1 day a week. She was doing her 5th day over there. Every Friday, she'd be there. Yeah, we build it. They will come. My God, limited hours, no hygienist, limited resources. I mean, how do you do it? Just don't. Till you at least have one successful office where you can at least pay your mortgage or bills. I was working in IT most of the time to pay bills and stuff like that. So it was hygiene never became priority. What all these great speakers spoke over there at No Limits, those things never sank in. We were just doing things just to meet the bills, right? So 2005 to 2007, 3 to 5, our office grew like to $500,000. My God, that felt great. 2005, attended a conference in San Francisco, but we continued to grow very slowly till 2014. That's when things started to really change. I think 2012 or 13, we attended a conference here. After that, we started to implement a lot of the things. It started to sink in. Financially, we were doing a little better. We could afford. I could get out of the, being a computer engineer at these high corporate offices and, manage my team. My team's sitting right here, part of them. I got Rosie, Anna, and Stephanie. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful team.
So these were like our first gung-ho years. Being able to do like close to $200,000 in 2 offices, I mean, it was like, my God, this is great. This is great. I mean, look at 2008 was when, right there, you see a little bump up there. There's a laser pointer here, right? I'm sitting in my office, a beautiful office we built, and John comes visits me, and I'm going like sitting over there and pulling some chairs on this medallion we have, a chandelier on the top, and I'm going like, John, welcome. John goes, where's all the patient? This is middle of the day. I mean, I don't have a doctor. I'm just sitting there myself. I mean, just waiting for They will come. I build it. John's there. And I said, John, that's your job. Where are the patients? I mean, yeah, he's not a Santa Claus. I mean, we have to build our system. We do have to bring everything. Hygiene wasn't a priority. I mean, this here. Thank you for your visit, John, for giving me that bump. At that time, we did bring a associate in for a few days and so forth. And 2 days, I think. We hired our first hygienist, Christy. She was brand out of college, and she's still with us. And we started to ramp up a little bit, but slowly. But it's one of those things, you just can't do a little bit here and then expect everything else to fall in place. You got to have the whole enchilada, right? These are some of the reasons why we were just not picking up steam, as a lot of, you guys seen over here. 0 to $7 million. Wow. 24 months. Incredible. That was the speaker yesterday.
So just same thing, the thinking was small. We didn't think the whole thing we can implement right away. We never have any hygienists before in that time frame. No associate in the early times. I was working one office Monday through Thursday, second office just Friday, and slowly, start thinking at this point about adding an associate, basically.
We were at the same place a lot of you guys are today, right?
Yeah.
You heard add a hygienist, add an associate. Making $500,000 total sales. You got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay the rest of the employees. It's going to cost you easily $100,000 to hire a full-time hygienist. 1/5, 20% of your revenue going towards how do you justify it based on what somebody says, right? I get it. It's hard. I had to get a job out there to do that, basically. We had no space. We had 2 operatories, right? But that's not that wasn't the limiting factor there. Limiting factor was we have 2 space. Limiting factor was, where is she going to work if you have 2 operatories? I mean, you got a hygienist over here. You can't. There was no sinking in that 2 operatories should be about $1 million each if you put expanded hours. We did not stock the shelf with the product, right? There are only 3 things any business has. One is the products you sell. The other one is the quality. The third one is the schedule. Those are the only 3 things any business has in their, that's what they're trying to do. And you can't compromise on either one. We just did not had the product on the shelf, and we didn't control our schedule. Quality, she's one of the best dentists. I mean, if you can get out of college and, come from India and do what, $7 million a year? Good. Yeah. Great. We are happy with the 15-16% growth. I think that was another thing, that was it. So I did not see, you tend to look people around you. How much did you grow? I had 5 new patients this month. I had 30. So. The mistake in the growing up to me was, opening up a practice in 2006. I think it was more of like a midlife crisis, maybe, or maybe listening to Chris, or maybe watching some other people, or watching the movie Field of Dreams. I built it. They will come. My midlife crisis will be over. Honey, when is midlife crisis over for me? It still goes on.
It's still.
Yeah. No money to expand, hire, same thing. But we are up to $600,000 a year. Yeah. John's job was to do the marketing, bring us the people. He never gave me the magic candy from the Santa Claus picture he showed yesterday. Yeah. There you go. You got all the patient. Yeah. I'm going through fast with this one, so we'll get to the meat of the things, what we did and so forth.
So basically, we did everything very slow in that period of time. We were just paying the bills and investing everything back in the office. I was doing more dentistry, and Raj was working as an engineer in the IT department. So main thing was we were not realizing our focus was just the survival, not the growth in the office. We were trying to go month to month looking at all those things, but we had each other. That's the only thing we had at that point. We were just surviving. Then things began to change after 2014. Actually, after 2012, when we came to the city limit, no limit here, again, we listened to all the speakers and decided, you know what, we were doing all this for many years. Why things are not working out for us? So we need to change. So then we started, okay, we're going back, we're going to start doing the hygiene. So we hired hygienists, associates, and start working in the operatories a little bit. So we moved both offices from 2 operatories to 4 operatories. We added 2 more in each office. We tried to do everything that we learned in that period of time. So we pick and choose what makes sense, what not. We still didn't implement the whole thing, but we tried to add more and more stuff. Still no early and late hours, no primetime hygiene. Hygienists were working only twice a week, scheduling our patient middle of the day, just the vertical column. That was still, we were doing with the one hygienist because no expanded hours, no weekend still.
So what was important was when we talk about we were very selective, this was the reason that made us very selective. It was the money. You have to be selective. You just can't, hire staff at once. You just can't, send out 30,000 flyers and, do all that things that you dream of. You learn doing it and so forth. And it does take, a lot of courage, leap of faith to be able to do all that. 2014, sold Los Gatos office. We started a scratch practice in, Los Gatos office we sold, and then we started one in where we live, Morgan Hill. 6 months later, we moved to Morgan Hill because we like the town so much. It's like one of the best kept secrets of the Bay Area. It's a little community south of San Jose. And why is it so nice over there is because they limit the number of houses they can build is about 200, and they got all this open space and so forth. Still small community type of feeling up there. So 2015, January we started. I keep going back, don't I? No, sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So that's when we started noticing a lot of growth, right? We were open on weekends. We expanded our hours to weekdays and during weekdays. We hired hygienists. We hired associates. We have a mission statement: hygiene, hygiene, hygiene. This is where everything comes for us. $0 out of pocket was huge. Our production per hygiene goal revolved around about $900. Average of both offices, right? And we learned the philosophy of market only when you have the product on the shelf. Otherwise, you're wasting your money. And we took charge of the schedule, right? Doing some of these things, we grew our office in San Jose, which is a 4 operatory still, to 2019. We finished at $3.2 million. And I think we want to do about $4.5 million this year in San Jose. Morgan Hill is currently doing 322 average per chair, or 7 days a week on 72 hours. So they're doing, last year they finished on 3.9 million. Goal is 6.5 million. After listening to some of the speakers, I think these numbers are way too low. Really. These are our graphs. As you see on these graphs, look, this is where we take a dip over here, but this is when we sold this office up and we started a Morgan Hill office. This one here is San Jose office, red one. Oh, the other one, sorry.
Blue one is San Jose, yeah.
Blue is the San Jose one, right?
Right.
The red one is the new patient base for Morgan Hill, and cumulative is what, about 5,000, a little short of that per year. What was it when we started? About 4 new patients when we got the practice, San Jose. That's what happened. Trust me, we bought an office from a gentleman, elderly gentleman, He retired, and 4 new patients, open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5. I love what he did, retiring. Patient would still tell us the stories that, hey, he and his wife would sit in, patient be in the chair, and he'd be sitting over here, and she'd be sitting over here. They would actually have arguments with each other.
She was assistant for him, so they worked together.
That was his only assistant. And I'm sure they had a successful business, but if you are going to have your spouse in the business, I don't give advice, but this time I will, make sure it's the right business partner. Otherwise, you can never, you can never get out of your office as your business partner. So this was our new patient numbers, and our revenue was growing.
As the new patient and hygiene growing.
You get used to this one. It's about $7.1 million here. Even shows, I don't know why it shows 6 here, but little dip here shows the office and so forth, right? And this is what the accelerated growth does. What is accelerated growth? it's easy for me to say, do open the hours and so forth. Let's talk about a little bit more of those, right? So this is what accelerated growth is, open hours and so forth, right? So first one is open on weekends, expanded hours during weekdays, right? San Jose office.
So we opened the weekends and expanded our hours during weekdays. San Jose office is now open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., so which is 78 hours a week. And then Morgan Hill office is open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 5, so that makes 72 hours a week. So that was a big addition to the office.
May of 2018, I was like, Anna was there, and we got more hours and so forth. So we added, we went to alternative work week, and we have now 2 shifts over there. We open up 7 in the morning, we close at 8 p.m. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shift, and then, that was Dr. Declan's model.
Dr. Declan's model.
Thank you,
yes.
Dr. Declan. I don't think he's
here.
here.
Not here today.
Yeah. A great speaker. And we open Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the second shift, right? To do this one, I had to hire a doctor. I think now our doctor worked actually continuously. We had to hire a hygienist, front office, and assistant, right? To be able to add out 30 hours of hygiene. The main key point is this 32 hours of prime hygiene, right? We were open during middle of the days during that, right? The immediate effect of that, guys, doing without anything else, it's like putting the products on the shelf. It's not build it, they will come. It's more like put the product on the shelf and it will sell. From that month on, we automatically, without doing a single thing, increase our production $50,000 a month.
Just right away.
Right away. Same thinking, same people, few new people, but without doing anything else. That's the power. This is the actual number. I was like, what did we do different? Nothing. Just added open hours. Those are the products that sell. Those are the ones you want on your shelves. That's what it takes. A lot of, you can walk in the aisle in the shopping mall and so forth, and you're only going to buy what you're looking for. You're only actually even going to see what you're looking for. This is one of those things. We can come here, we can see a million things, but I only wanted to focus on what actually helped us. Right? So it's a life lesson learned. We just follow one of those things. Yeah. Right? Growth is.
And then along with the hours, we started hiring more staff. So we added hygienists, we added associates. Now, a lot of time the problem is the associate have in the office, but they're not doing much. They're saying my associates are not productive. They're doing only fillings, they're doing basic exams. We're not trying to give them anything expensive, any major work. But this is how we think. I'm thinking, If my associate is producing $4,000 per procedure, I'm still getting $3,000 anyway. Why won't I do that? Without touching a handpiece, without doing anything, and if I'm still making a $3,000, he's making a $1,000. It's a win-win for everybody. So we don't hold hand of associate. We say, whatever, if you can do good quality, as long as you maintain the quality of dentistry, you're good to go. You can do whatever you want to do. I think that was the big thing. So associate really loves them because we have an associate who are coming from the other offices. They were not allowed to do half of the things. Very selective, very minimum they were supposed to do that. And second thing is a hygienist. Of course, we implemented $0 cleaning, and every hygiene patient should come back. That's always hygiene in the office we have. Mm-hmm.
Having associates is great. Having smart front office is great. But we learn a lot of things in this place here is that this limit that's up there, the likability limit, pay very close attention to it.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, there will be times, and there you will have one superstar associate, treatment planner, coordinator, where, for example, last month, I let go my treatment coordinator. She would turn a $10,000 day into $30,000 just like this. And she would go, Raj, look, I closed this case. This patient just paid me $18,000 to get the treatment done. I have bills to pay. Doesn't that sound like music to my ears? It is. But my production would jump from $300,000 to $400,000, and I'm like, wow. And it's not production, it's collections. She should be selling, ice to Eskimos. She could do that, Eskimos. But at the end of the day, you got to see for every $20,000 that comes in, how many patients that walked out the back door, right? And it takes a long time. You get blinded by numbers. And it's going to happen to you too, right? Stay within the likability limit. Measure it directly. The great tool we talk about, TX24/7, I was the very first user for that when they introduced it over here. We still use it. Likability limit, it shows up exactly who's doing what. It's not about great presentation skill. It just lets you do simple things. It lets you concentrate. I know everybody's going to say, yeah, we can do everything on our open software, Open Dental or Dentrix or Eagle software. But there's just way too many things in there. You just can't focus on treatment planning, presenting, and do it in a large scale, but where each amount is less. This is probably, if I could implement anything and give you guys advice, this be implemented in your office without even asking a question. TX24/7, probably the best tool you can have. So, woohoo. TX24/7, and we have Bobby sitting out there. He's a representative for it. And you're going to be able to help a lot more people out, right? You dentists, everybody wants to help out people. You can't help them till the treatment is sold. We have senior doctors, right? Bahama's office. I forgot actually what I was going to talk about, Bahama's office, right? Give you an example, right? One day a senior doctor comes to me and goes, actually to you, and it's like, why is my schedule? No, he goes, front office is not putting treatment on my schedule, right? Front office is not putting treatment on my schedule. Look at all the treatment this other doctor has, and he doesn't even have as much experience as I do. Right? I'm sure you guys with the associates heard this argument before, right? And the simple question you asked him was?
Yeah. So, senior doctor, when he said, my schedule is very open, and he's like a 20 year of experience. And the other doctor is 3 years out of school, and his schedule is completely full. And he said, I think front desk is not giving me the treatments, and they're putting everything to the junior doctor. And I said, all right, let's set open. He was right in the office, and I said, let's take a look and see how many exams you're doing versus how many exams he's doing. And because he's thinking senior, looking only at the production part, he don't want to do the exam. And then we said, all right. So he looked at the math, and junior doctor is doing about 70% of the exam. He's doing 30% of the exam. So I said, here's your answer. Whoever do the exam, patient trust that person. You know, they discussed everything, and they want to schedule with that doctor.
The other doctor was
That's a big
like,
thing. For major senior doctors, honestly don't want to do the exam, and they don't get that thing. Because each hygiene exam is $900 worth. They don't look at that way. They just look at the smaller picture of just an exam.
No, it's just an exam. Yeah. Always quantify to people that exam is about $900. You got to do it, right? Part-time associate doctors are very hard to be productive for us. They cannot offer the product on the shelves. They cannot do all the exam necessary for doctors to achieve. It has to be the full-time associates. You just can't have somebody working in another office, bringing that baggage in. It's full-time associates. Same for the hygienist. It's great being able to hire a hygienist and so forth, but make sure, you will go broke very soon if you hire hygienist after hygienist. Make sure you maximize, or whatever the number is, 50% full or something, before you bring in a second hygienist, right? Numbers could be discussed. Ask John or Mr. Bickling what the number is, but make sure you guys implement assisted hygiene. Our hygiene is simple. Our hygienist comes in, they do make a fairly good daily rate. I don't send them home if they are sitting idle in the middle of the day. They can work as assistant, they can make calls, they can make associate. They are, in charge of the schedule. It's for them to stay busy. And why they want to stay busy, it's not because they want to make their daily salary, because after 8 patients or 12 patients in San Jose, I give them $30 additional for every patient they see. They want to make sure that they see that. They make that money additional for 8 hours shifts in Morgan Hill. We see after 8 hours, 8 patients, they make it $30 additional. Simple math, they keep track of it. It's very accountable. And they do want to work. But the only way to make this work is if you have a dedicated RDA for them. Otherwise, it's going to fail. You got to have it dedicated. I tried this double hygiene without having a assistant. I said, okay, we'll pull the assistant away from the doctor, give it to you when you're double booked. That doesn't work because doctors do not let their assistant go. They don't. They're probably the most laziest people. We're still friends, right?
Yeah.
San Jose office. If we had to let go and a hygienist, we departed our ways, and then we have one hygienist, and I think last few weeks she's been doing 18, 19 hygiene appointments a day. And I want to say thank you to Mimi, our RDA, who goes, we call them Mulan and Pocahontas team. So our hygienist is Mulan, and Pocahontas is our RDA. She goes, I'm not going to let my Mulan fail. I'm going to make sure that I'm with her. She's going to see, she just literally carry the whole thing and make sure that she can do it. And this is very recent. And it's determined. And this is where my team comes in. This is where, your team needs support. They are with each other. They're not going to let them fail.
And they step in whenever they need to. I mean, she said to the doctor, you know what, doc, you can do the temporary crown. I have to help my hygienist today. You know.
Yeah. And when they're overbooked, I mean, if you have 4 hygiene in the evening and we got 1 hygienist, doctor is going to step and do the hygiene. It's just part of the team. You know, there is nothing wrong with doing hygiene. Now, our mission is, hygiene, hygiene, hygiene. And I really believe that we can't do anything without having hygiene there. And, with hygiene, we can do oral surgery, orthodontics, we can do all the specialty we want. The hygiene for us, and like take oral surgery, for example, right? And it's very easy to sell treatment plan to oral surgeon, right? And this person I just talked about, our office manager that could do it, I didn't realize at that time that most of the large cases she was selling was oral surgery, right? And I thought, my God, I'm going to go broke and so forth, right? And Rosie over here and Stephanie, both, I haven't missed a beat, basically. They picked up where it left off, and they're selling hygiene, they're selling other treatment plan, but again, within the likability limit. I don't think it applies to, does it apply to oral surgery?
Sometimes.
Not to ortho. I mean, each ortho case is $65,000, $7,000. So, but those are, again, not your main focus. It's very easy to get distracted. Very easy to get distracted. I looked at the numbers. I have 2 offices. I got an oral surgeon once a week here. Yeah, he can produce $30,000 a day. But at the end of the day, that's only 10% of my business. I'm only going to put 10% of my effort on that. Rest 90 is going to be, again, my hygiene. This is where everything is. You don't need to worry about restorative. Doctors are going to figure that out automatically. Put all your eggs in the basket that really matters is the hygiene. Build it up. It's an annuity like we talk about it. It's something that, we can't live without. You cannot do oral surgery without it. You can't do endo without it. Nothing. You got to put the hygiene first, then you build around it. It's the icing. All the rest of the stuff is icing on the cake, but the cake has to be big. And that's where our focus is that, we do everything around. We want to, like John says, build a hygiene hurricane and, and build it, put the products on the shelf, and it will sell.
So growth is just a cleaning, again, hygiene. It's a $0 cleaning, no out of pocket, doesn't cost patient anything. Just do it. Our production per hygiene exam, as we said, is still 900, regardless of how many cleanings we do, tons of free cleanings we do. It's not like, patients are maxed out for hygiene, 2 appointments they already done. First visit, they got a root canal and a crown done, patients maxed out. No worry, we're gonna take care of you. The more patient comes back, more patient trusts you. It's all building a trust through the hygiene department. That's what it does. So it's a very low-risk procedure. There's no brainer. It's all sure to succeed.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Like Nike says. Market is once you have all the products on the shelf, right, and all the sporting things, right? This is Monique, by the way. She's with us for a long time, and she got a secret shopper call, and I gave her $100 for that, and I was like, woohoo! So, yeah.
Twice in a month.
Twice in a month. So we need to get more of this. I mean, these $100 are burning hole in my pocket, Rosie. Come on. We can get some more, right?
Yeah.
Every single call. But the main thing is that, when it's not about $100, it's getting into a habit of answering every call into, like I say, secret shopper call. Every patient that calls in is simple. It clearly shows, I mean, look, if I wasn't to do anything else, if I was just to able handle my phones right, I guarantee you I got 20, 30 more patients every month, each office, even more maybe. So growth is being able to answer your phone. If we can't even do that, we might as well pack and go home. I mean, it's the simplest thing. Most doctors won't even know about it because they're too busy doing the restorative and stuff. It's a basic thing, guys. Get your phone answer right, and and go from there.
It's important.
Yeah. It's like one time we went twice actually. We went to John's dungeon and we sitting over there and talking about all these things. And Raj, what's your capacity? Raj, what's your numbers? What is your hygiene number? I think I'm probably one of the very few people who ever went to his office and said, Raj, I need help. What do I do? And so forth, right? He was very kind enough to spend a whole day with us, me and my team. Anna was there with us that day.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for that. And it's like we're sitting over there. I want you to stop marketing. No more flyers, nothing. Why? You don't have the capacity. First, go ahead, hire a hygienist and so forth. Then we'll talk. I did 6 months. I didn't send out a single flyer. And then, I wanted to make sure that I have products on the shelf. I have, space open, right? I have a hygienist. I can have doctors and so forth, right? Before we send out any flyers out, brochures out. We just can't say, okay, John, send out the flyers. And he won't do it. I mean, he knows that if you don't have the capacity to do it, it's a waste of your money. Don't do it, okay? Growth is, taking charge of your schedule. What does that mean, by the way? Schedule, I said, is like the third equally important component of the business, right? You got quality there. You guys are going to do a great job. It's unlikely that most people won't, people say that patients won't know it. I disagree with it. I think if you're a compassionate doctor, people will feel it. They will know the quality is there. You guys all do work hard on this and you guys provide. So my kudos to you, exactly what you guys do. I mean, it's awesome. You are able to help so many people out. You just can't, ignore it and say the quality, people won't know it. People will know it. It's important. Providers' hygiene. Golden rule of hygiene to me is like a restorative middle of the day. Rest is all hygiene, 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 right? It's amazing, what you can do. No doctor, I believe, can work 8 hours straight doing restorative. They need a break. They need to be productive. Let them spend some time in the morning, in the evening, on weekdays, talking to the patient. Let them be the friend. We live in the same community every day. We see people on the street. We see people in Safeways. We see them on Home Depot. And, we love seeing them. Make small talk. You will recognize them. They will recognize you. Dentistry is very, very personal. You're working on an open cavity on a person in their mouth. It's very personal. Oops. So spend some time with the patient during the exam. The only way you're going to do that is if you're not doing restorative at the same time. Do restorative middle of the day, evening time, hygiene. Do 4 column. You can do 15-minute exams. Fine. If you have 2 patients in the evening time, do half-an-hour exams. Be out there with the patient, there for their needs, right? Do lateral scheduling, right? Don't just have the people in your office. This is the hardest thing even today for my office staff to come in. And we're working on this every day, right? We can't just think of the schedule like up and down, right? It has to look pretty. If a schedule looks that pretty, it's going to fail. It's going to, middle of the day, is going to be empty for hygiene, guaranteed. No matter how much you do, no matter, you can make them prepay for the appointment and stuff. You can do whatever you want. But middle of the day, you cannot schedule people in there for hygiene. It's the golden rule for us. One thing, when scheduling appointments for patients, give them 3 specific times, right? Which one of those will work for you? Jaswinder, I got tomorrow at 6 p.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow, or we can see you today at 5 p.m. Even tomorrow at 7 a.m. Which one of those times work for you for your next appointment?
I think I'll like 7 a.m. tomorrow before I go to work.
What I just did was I took control of my schedule, right? I didn't say, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm going to really take care of you. What's a good time for you to come see us tomorrow?
You know what? I have to take a look at my schedule. I'm not sure.
Right? Versus what I just did was I gave her the control. Take the control, put it in your hands, put it in your office, people, empower them. That's the only way to take control of the schedule. It's very simple, right? Both statements sounded good. The one was with consideration to the office or what we have available. The other one would be to what she has available as a patient. Right? As you grow, your team grows, right? The team is very important. I got some of the best team in the world, and it's taken me a long time to get there. One thing is recognize in your team, not every job is for every person. Don't be afraid to let go. I have made that mistake for too long. People will stay with you that are, wanting to be part of the team, that are productive, that are, wanting to carry other people when somebody is down. Those are the people you want. You want the people that are going to be caring. When I did let go, I knew my team was there. I asked Rosie, and Stephanie joined us. Say, you know what? I have a big challenge. I'm afraid of this. They told me, you're not going to miss a beat. They made me feel that, and I didn't. That's what teams are about. Anna said, Rosie and Anna used to be Rosanna. Said, I'm not going to miss a beat. Don't worry, Raj. Rosie got this one. Stephanie's a great person coming aboard. Teams are important. Be respectful. Be honest. Have your team agreements ready. It's very, very important. As soon as you come up with your team agreements and share with them and have everybody sign, Anna and Rosie have, printed them out, have everybody sign, and put them on the walls. Now, and it framed them actually.
Yeah. And if anybody is like, for example, not doing what they were supposed to do, all they say, remember our agreement, team agreement? That's not part of it. And that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
No other conversations. Everybody committed to it, and everybody's going to do exactly what's supposed to be done.
And it's a simple thing. It's like open-ended communication. If I can't help anything situation, I'll point it to the right person. Please help them, right? And I will always say positive things about my team, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Having such a nice agreement, it's not going to be for all your team members. And if it's okay, if one of them wants to leave and say, or two, that it's not okay for them, they're good people, but this team is just not for them. We wish them well. We'll give them great reference letters. Hopefully they find where they're happy at, right? Team is very important to be able to build harmony. We spend more time with our team than a lot of us than with our families.
We spend 13 hours a day together.
Yeah. Imagine in a four operatory office,
Small office.
1,000 square feet. Our bathroom is smaller than the airplane one. And no break room. Doctor's office is the break room. We are
That's
having
the
meeting every there,
room.
and everybody's eating lunch in there.
All the lunches, all the celebrations, all the timeouts, everything is done in that room.
Right? I mean, it works. Why? Because, our team flows together. We have a great team. And Anna's actually helped me build it from day one. And I want to thank you, Anna. You are the best.
We went through all the challenges and pain and everything together.
By the way, Anna's built a great team in San Jose office, and she let me borrow people. The people are outstanding, what we have, and I don't even get phone calls. Along with Anna, I also want to thank your team in San Jose, and I want to thank the team in Morgan Hill. Both of you guys, both teams are just awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Here's some myths and false beliefs, like I need a great location. One location is right next to Walmart. It's a retail location, and we're sitting over there and paying $7,000 more rent on it. The other location is a professional building, the San Jose office, right? I think it helps. Trust me, it helps. But till you get the products on the shelves, it doesn't matter. Right? New patients are a fantasy, costly, if and only if you don't have the products on the shelf, or if you can't bring them back. You can't, have future hygiene appointments at primetime hygiene. If you don't have $0 cleanings. Why is $0 cleaning even more important? Is because every doctor out there, the insurance makes them think, hey, your cleaning is free. You're going to a doctor that, you're going to charge you for cleaning. You're going to be really thinking hard about why am I not getting patients. So you might as well advertise it. Put it everywhere you can. 99%, I think not 90, maybe over 90% pay 100% of the fees for your cleanings anyways. So you might as well. The $0 cleaning, Secret shop, we already talked about, Don't fret over bad reviews. Yeah, it helps, but you know what? They really don't matter. I mean, Western Dental wouldn't be in business if they were worried about bad reviews, right? Neither would be Jack in the Box. So, the myth is you have to grow slowly, organically. I mean, look at from Dr. Steve from Canada or Justin Koch doing $1 million in first month, among other fine representatives or speakers we had, all this spa treatment and TX24. Is CEREC, LVI. I mean, CEREC is like one of those things, It's great having it, being able to do a crown and things like that. One of my goal is to do an office that I don't take any impressions over there with the materials. It will save me time on the assistant. It will, it will speed up the process. Do digital impressions for everything, including crowns, dentures, full dentures, partial dentures, whatever you need, Invisalign, Align technology. Everything is faster. Saves time from the lab, right? Don't monetize your assistant's rate by saying, average assistant is about $35 an hour, right? No. If it was just $35 an hour, you would have a lot. Assistant time is, to me, if I was to measure it, probably like over $100 an hour because what they help you produce, the other doctors, maybe $200 an hour. So don't say, my assistant, I'm paying $35 an hour. She can take a millicrown in half an hour, and she's very good at it, and I will save $30 from the lab. No, assistant time is worth in hundreds of dollars an hour. I haven't measured it, but they enable doctors to do a lot. That's how you want to measure it. So the goal for me going forward is to go digital as far as lab goes, I think I can do it. Marketing. Sending out flyers will give me new patients. AdWords, street signs, marketing, working with Chris said, I'm going to be returning to going to the Bahamas. Nah. You guys, it's your business. You run it the way you want it, but implement it so that, run it like the Walmart, like the Pro Brush shop. Make sure you have enough products on the shelf so people have choices to be able to buy them. It doesn't get simple than that. I like that analogy. Do it that way. Just brochures or anything you want to do, one thing is now going to do it. Otherwise, you guys are going to be in the same slow start we had, crawl for, 11 years?
11 years,
yeah. So, but do it. Other myth is that willpower is at my will. It will materialize when I want. Oh, come on. Willpower won't do anything by itself, right, for us. We need willpower to build systems. Before blaming the willpower, expand hours, hygiene again, etc. I know I'm hampering on hygiene, but it's important. I mean, this is where you build the business. This is where you're going to be successful. Insurance, to me, is a myth. Right? About a year and a half ago, I think we dropped MetLife 2 years ago, right? MetLife was one of the lowest paying insurances we had, right? And everybody told me, Raj, your patients are going to run out and you're not going to succeed. So, of course, we're doing more with MetLife because we're more busy and stuff like that. But percentage-wise, look what happened when we dropped MetLife. 29% went up, utilization. Patient portion went up down 4%.
Went down.
Down, sorry. I mean, this is not a percentage like, hey, because now we are billing them our UCR fees. They're paying UCR fees, right? So, but we are actually able to offer the same PDP fees to the patients. That went down. Patient collecting from patient about 4%. I think I need to do it. I will get it eventually by the time I'm done with the presentation. Right? The other thing is we're doing it over here is I looked at the number. I mean, I showed it to Anna and Rosie and Stephanie, and this is something that really affect me. Like, you look at the front office. How many of you guys have a hard time finding front office people? Almost everybody, especially in the Bay Area. We were very sticklers about insurance has to be right. Look at that oxymoron. Insurance estimate has to be exact. I mean, how can an estimate be exact? The insurance, am I over time?
We're almost done.
Okay. You worried me, John. So, insurance estimate has to be right. We make sure that, 4 things I looked at was insurance verification, posting, accounts receivable, and insurance billing. I had 50% of my staff in the front office allocated to that. My onboarding call is with the e-assist out there on Tuesday. I'm going to have them do all of this: insurance verification, posting, accounts receivable, insurance billing. And they're telling me they're going to give me 100% production to collection ratio. They're going to, you know what? Even with half my staff working on it, we never, ever got down to accounts receivable. Well, we did somewhat. Then it will fall off. Then we'll do other things because it's not a priority. It's not measured because we are every day looking at daily production. We're looking at accounts receivable. We're looking at how many new patients come in. It builds up. And how long has I've been bothering you about accounts receivable? Since day one. Right? And Anna is not irresponsible. She knows it's important. But we all know that at the end of the day, I expect her to do the day sheet. I expect her to do, how many treatments were sold, how many things were done, and so forth. Great people at ESIS, as far as I know. Okay, so that's something, it's up to you. You guys can do it or not, but I am definitely doing it, right? And now having additional 4 or 5 patients in each office doing patient care coordinating, I'm not going to let them go. They need to take care of the patient. I could afford them back then. I can afford them now. They are going to be able to talk to the patient. Maybe now will one of them be a concierge. That's what I learned. That was a great position, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe as they come in, they can will have time to actually get up and greet the patient. Go up, right? Lessons learned for me are simple. Don't open another office till you maximize the first one. At least $1 million a chair. Okay. Pre-appointment, everybody. What we've been talking about, pre-appoint everybody. To me, we did that one. It never made sense to me. We would always have cancellations. We would have production, issues with it. Take it with a grain of salt, okay? Trust but verify, as my nephew says, okay, always. What we did was Dr. Beckling was showing that piece of paper out there. Ask every appointment, when was it scheduled? What time it was? Who scheduled it? Was it a prime time hygiene appointment? I just met with Stephanie last week. I said, where's the sheet over there? And a whole bunch of them. Okay, Stephanie goes, I say, why is this patient appointed at 1 p.m. on Monday or 2 p.m. Tuesday? Oh, this was appointed 6 months ago, so I just wrote down next, okay? I said, move him automatically. Move him to primetime hygiene without even telling the patients. I don't care. So otherwise, I guarantee you that patient is going to cancel. So we got to trust our staff, but you guys have to verify it. The best way to verify is to use that sheet that was shown up by Dr. Beckling.
So this accelerated growth part, because we thought we are doing it, we all think always when the patient is leaving for the hygiene, we normally do pre-point. Every time we think we are pre-pointing, our pre-appointment rate is 100%. And every time Matt comes in, he will say, it's 65, 70%. And we said, no, there's no way. We know we are scheduling everybody. And then we looked at the numbers and said, okay, now. So then we decided this. Now, end of the day, we fill the sheet daily. Make sure every single patient who comes in the treatment also have a recall appointment. Everybody from the recall have a recall, but all the recalls are in the prime time. If anybody's in the middle of the day, as we have a note, we have to have an explanation why this patient is coming 12 on Wednesday in the middle of the day. And that really worked for us. Mm-hmm.
The whole enchilada, what lesson learned is you got to have the own enchilada, like Justin enjoy the whole enchilada. He doesn't eat the part of it. Huh? Dr. Bickling does, like Dr. Mascaron does, and amazing. What I learned yesterday was in 24 months, $0 to $7 million. Just amazing. Because these guys have, got the whole enchilada thing down. Yeah? TX 24/7. TX 24/7. Unified smiles. Guys, save them, use them, save some money. They're wonderful people. They will, go there. By the way, I don't get any kickbacks for any of this. But John did throw me a ticket and a flight, and I was like, thank you. So I did get a kickback for this. So if anybody here wants to do some kickback or, favor, I'm okay to it. I'm not as good as.
So I just want to say again, right now, working from 6 days a week. By last year, 2018, this year, I'm doing 2.5 days optional. If I want to do it, I can. I don't have to be in the office. And I just chose to work only 2.5 days. So last year was the first year I did not miss a single game for my son's football game. I was there every single day. This is a picture. It was a game. My son was leaving the weight room, going for the game, last game of the year, and he was kissing me on my face. And it was made possible by my team because I was able to leave the office knowing that it'll be good. And this is as a video?
It's supposed to be a video.
Oh.
No, it's maybe just came out as a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did actually at my son's school, so they call the parent and players workout together. So I did a workout with my son that day, and it was a fun game. I'm
down here because I had both frozen arms, shoulders. I wasn't as strong to do the pull-ups but like these guys were super people. So, but I can do them now, so if I have to.
And it was not possible, coming from India, as I said, I did my first crown prep in my board exam from my experience. And doing $7.1 million was not possible without John, without Raj, and my wonderful team. I always say, yeah, they're always today.
No,
Just do it.
that's it.
So, every single flower is very beautiful. When you put it in a bouquet, it's a whole different feeling. That's what my team is. Everybody have their own strength. Everybody have their own ways to do things. But all together makes where we are today. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's so cool. Look at that. That's so cool. They had a couple of questions for you, think.
Oh,
Rob.
questions.
Is that if that's okay?
Yeah,
Just one question. Okay, one that was texted
just one
in.
question.
Yeah, and I hope I can say it right. Nicole, correct me if I'm wrong the way I asked the question, but they asked us to ask you, for every patient who comes through hygiene for exam cleanings and x-rays, does everybody pay nothing out of pocket? Just the insurance patients, or the cash patients, or the new patients, or the returning patients, or is it everybody?
Nobody pays.
Nobody pays.
Nobody.
Nobody pays.
People without insurance.
It's amazing they're paying us to bring patients into the office for exams, if you ask me. But
Yeah.
don't you think?
So, no, by the way, this is my family. That one is my family. There you go. That's looking better. My elder son, younger son, Arjun on right side, and that's me and Dr. Jaswinder. This is taken at my house. So to answer that question is, it's a very, very touchy subject. So, I mean, basically, if you make a rule, I do give my office staff saying, okay, we're not going to collect $0 for cleanings, okay?
No matter what.
If, for example, the question is, what do you do with the third cleaning when it's covered, right? What do? We write it off. Big deal. What do you do with cash patients? We have our in-house plan. Every one of our cash patients is in-house. They pay $195 for the membership fee. That includes 2 free cleanings, exam and x-rays included. The preventative for the whole year is free. If they need a third cleaning, we'll do it free. Right? So, but I mean, there are times then you're going to have some people that you need to weed out because they want to get cleanings there. I think that's where might be the question coming from. I want to get my treatment done over there at my regular dentist, and then I will get the cleaning over here. Yeah, some people figure, charge them $54 or something, money, whatever you want.
But if you have a patient who comes in January and who have a $1,500 insurance, and plus they made their co-payment, they had a root canal and a crown done. Now they maxed out for the rest of the year in January, right? They made some co-payment for the crown. They spent $1,500. And then all you have to do is you have an assisted hygiene. If your hygienist is $50 an hour, it's like $25 that you're giving them back by doing a free hygiene. Patient trusts you, patient loves you because they're maxed out, but you're still taking care of them for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. I'm asked also to remind you, hope that inspires an awful lot of you. This is an amazing transformation. It's like one of those butterfly stories there, James. But I'm asked to remind you that if you want CE credits, where do they got to go?
Dorn-Mayhew.
Where?
Dorn-Mayhew.
Who? Dormain? What? I don't even know what he's saying. Anyway, you got to. There's a CE credit thing back there somewhere.
Yeah, John. So
Okay.
it's the table Dorn-Mayhew. It's in the back.
Oh, Dormain.
It's the third table. It's one of these vendor tables outside. Please be sure you sign the sign-up sheet. You have to sign
Yeah.
the sheet if you want CE
Yeah,
credits.
and there's going to be a break now for 15 minutes. Look
Break for
forward to having
15
you come
minutes.
back real soon. We have more fun, more entertainment coming right down the road.